Hello again. I hope you're all ready for the second card. This card's one of my favorites because it's like a little fish tank. You can pull the sides in and out and you see it looks like a little fish tank. And it's pretty simple to put together. This is what the inside looks like. You can see that. And then just some more coloring. This set is just so wonderful. I just love this set. So that's the card we're going to make. We are going to use some blends. And these are the blends we're actually going to use today. I love the blends. Dark soft suede, light petal pink, light granny apple green, dark granny apple green, light calypso coral, dark crumb cake, and light crumb cake. So those are our blends we're using today. And what are we using the blends on? Well, by the magic of the internet, I've already stamped what we need for this card. Which actually, we don't even need this one. I'm not sure why I did that one, but we don't need that. You need the basket, you need the hat, and you need the fish. And then we're also going to need You're the Best Catch Ever. So let's go ahead and stamp that too so that we have that on here. So let's just stick that, I don't know, like right there would probably be good. Perfect. Perfect. I like when things come out perfect. So, and with this, while we're doing that, we're going to need, this is this part right here. This, your little sentiment up there. Which is kind of nice because it can be for Father's Day, it can be for a birthday. So that's your little sentiment. We're going to punch that out. This punch, I don't know what the number is. This punch is actually on the clearance rack. Or on the clearance rack, I think is where I found this one. So you might want to look at on the newsletter I sent you with the links, you might want to look at this on the clearance rack. So we are going to punch that out. Oh, and I just left enough room to do that. There we go. Let's just set that aside for now. Which actually, you will get this in your kit. Oh, actually, you'll get the punched out one in your kit, and you'll have to stamp on the punched. But you're going to get this one too, so that you can put them together like we did on here. Okay, so that's that. Like I said, we'll just set that aside for now. So, if we bring this back in, then let's do a little coloring. I do this every time. Yeah, that's all the brushes are on that side. Okay. I really like coloring this fish. The fish is like my favorite color. So put a little calypso coral on here, just to give it some color. And while I'm at it, even though I'm not using this one, I'm gonna, maybe I'll use this one on this card. Who knows? We'll stick that in there. And then, let's do a little granny apple green. And a little bit up here. Some in here. And you can, you decide where you want the colors. I think that was the light we used. Now let's put a little bit of dark in there to give it some contrast. A little bit over here. How about some down here? Yeah. I think I'm going to come back with a little bit more of this in here. Yeah. Perfect. And then let's go with a little crumb. Whoops, I do it every time. Let's go with a little crumb cake in here for his fins. Yeah. And while I have this out, I might as well do some of the basket, which I want to do the basket in the light. So this is the light crumb cake. And as you notice, these blends are great. You can really, if you like me, I don't really like to spend a lot of time coloring. So I really like these blends because they're quick. They're really quick, but they do what you want them to do. So, yeah, we might as well do the hat. And then if we come back and bring in some of the dark crumb cake, we can kind of do some highlighting there on the top of the hat. A little bit around the basket here. And a little bit on the basket. How's that? We'll give it a little more detail. And then how about some more on the fish? Let's get him some dark in there. And a little bit up here. Let's get some on his fin. A little more here. And you know, I'm on camera, so it's kind of just trying to show you what to do. You know, like how you can do it. But you color it the way you want. Because you might like to color more than I do, so you might want to get a little more detailed, but there, I think he came out all right. Let's color up this little guy here. And I should have done this when I had the green out on this. So let's put some green in there. And then I'm going to use, this is where I'm going to use the light petal pink. I'm just going to put a little bit of color on this guy. Maybe just a tad bit there. Oh, I missed this whole fin. Okay. Well, I have to bring out this one again to get the, just around the little strap of this bag. So then let's, how about we do that fin? Okay, that's good enough for now. So let's move the blends aside. Like I said, the blends are great because you don't have to buy them all at once. You can just get them as you put in an order is what I actually do. I put in an order and I add a couple blends to it. So I'm getting quite the collection now, which is nice. The other thing that I did on these fish to make them kind of stand out a little bit is I use this Wink of Stella. So if you would like to do that, just at this point, just kind of go over it and you'll get a little sparkle to it. But it's kind of nice because it looks kind of like it's glistening in the water. So that's kind of why I decided to start putting the Wink of Stella on this little guy. So that's something you can do too if you would like. So I'm not sure if you can really, yeah, I guess you can see it. I'm not sure, but there's the little fish, and maybe I'll put a little bit on the leaf here just to kind of make it stand out a little bit. There. So that's your coloring. And then, as you already know, because you've ordered the stamp and the die set, you have all these cool dies that go with it. I showed on the first card, but depending on how you're watching this, this cuts out your little fins here, which I think is kind of cool to give it a little bit of depth. So this is your dies, and you can, if you stamp this where you kind of give yourself room, you can actually put all the dies on here and run it through once. If you want to do that. So that's, and then I guess, you know, we already did the little fly thing here, so let's just go ahead and put the die on there. So now take that into your die cutting machine and cut those out. And voila, mine are completed. So there's the fish, there's my little fishing bag, there's my hat. And also at the same time when you're cutting that out, go ahead and cut out your little cattails. You're going to cut 3 of those out on your green, and you're going to cut out 2 of your little fish. Now on here, I want to show you how I did this. I didn't want to just leave it plain. So what I wanted to do was go ahead and color them. So actually you still got your markers out. This is the, I think it's dark soft suede. So color your little cattails there. And do that on this one. And I just like this because, like I said, it just gives you a little more depth to your card. Makes them kind of stand out a little bit more. And then after you do that, I took the Granny Apple Dark and I just kind of went like this. Just kind of give you some different colors in your grass. And you could use a few different greens if you wanted to. I kind of like the look of this one. So, you know, use your imagination. If you want, just do this one. So there you go. And then I give it a little bit more pizzazz, I guess. So now I think we really are done with the blends. So the little fish guy here, just pop out his eyes. Well, that didn't sound good, pop out his eyes. Okay, so we can kind of slide all that off to the side now. So now we're going to start assembling the card. And just so you know, which actually, let me bring this in. Don't mind all my R's, that means those are the things that are retiring. This is the embossing folder that I used on the back of the fish tank. So see how it kind of looks like water in there? It's like it's kind of like it's rippled. So I wanted to show you the embossing folder. You will be getting in your kit, you will be getting an embossed piece for the back. But in case you wanted to get something that goes really well with this set, it's the Seaside embossing folder. It is retiring because it has an R on it here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah. So it is retiring, but if you want to get it before June 4th, then this is the number that you need to get it. Seaside 141481, and that is $8.50. I think you can use this on a lot of different things, but it's great for the water. So I just wanted to share that with you so that you would know that that's where that one came from. Okay. So let's get ready to assemble the card. So what you're going to do, when you get your kit, you're going to have it looking just like this. You're going to have your back piece, you're going to have your front piece with your oval cut out. I will tell you this is the largest oval in our oval set that I cut this with. But what I wanted to share with you is this oval piece is going to be used on the next card. So you can, you can use your pieces. If you can use your extra parts, use them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this and you're going to get a piece of acetate. and I cut it just as a square to go on the back of this. My tip for you on this is take your acetate, put your tear tape at the top and at the bottom. Now remember, you're not putting anything in there, so you don't really have to seal this tight. We're just trying to make it look like it's a fish tank. So take those off. Make sure you're on the back side of your, I guess it doesn't matter though, but well, no, I guess it does because you got your little indent around there. So take that and then place this kind of over it so you can see where it's going to cover. One of mine, I didn't do it that way, and I didn't cover completely. I was right at the edge there. So then just put that on there. The other thing you could do while you're at this point is when you're holding them together, you're going to put one of these on the inside. So kind of figure out where you want to put it, you know, where it's going to look the best at. Okay, I think I found my spot. And then if you remember from the last video, but again, this might be the first one you're doing. Oh no, we don't want to do it that way. I'm sorry. I correct myself, and it's not even my Wednesday class. Okay, so you're gonna, all right, well, I kind of know where I want to put this. So just put some glue on this side of it and then kind of put it back, but I did kind of look and see where I picked that up from. So just put that right there. And then you got that piece together. Now, let me show you where you're going to score. So, excuse my scoring board. I know it's not a Stampin' Up! One, but it is a small one, and I like to use this small one sometimes just when I'm doing cards. It's easier. So, you are going to score at a 1/2 inch, and you're going to score at 1 inch. You're going to flip it around, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and you're going to score at 1 inch. And on your green piece, you're actually going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to score at a 1/2 inch, and you're going to score at 1 inch. Flip it around, score at a 1/2 inch, and score at a 1 inch. Okay? And then you're going to kind of take those and fold them in. And you'll do that on both sides. So let's move that out of the way. Ooh, sorry for the shake on the camera. I hit it with my arm because I saw a piece I needed, but that's not the piece I actually need. Anyways, let's go back to this. So now we have the score lines. You're going to fold it up, fold one, and back. So one goes into the back and one comes up to the front. And let's just use this bone folder because it's close. There you go. And then same thing on this side. You're going to fold towards the back. And then you're going to bring this one to the front. There you go. And then when you take these two together, you'll see how those pieces are going to match up right there? That's where you're actually going to put that together. But let's not put it together yet. We want to make our scene, and we also need to make our little fish that's going to be floating around in there. So let's go ahead and do the scene first. And you kind of need to see where you're going to put it. So, you know, out of these, you're going to put one up the front, and then you're going to put another one inside, and you're going to kind of guess to see where you want to put that guy. Maybe I'm going to put him over a little bit more. You know, we're kind of trying to make it look very 3D. Yeah, and actually I think where I have it, just going to bring it down a little bit. Yeah, so where I have it is good. I'm going to put a little bit of glue under there, just to kind of hold him in place. And here's the card just so you can see it again. And then we kind of going to take one of the fish, one of the little blue fish, And this part you can kind of just set him in there and see. So he's kind of coming from behind the thing. And then she looks like she's trying to get away. So let's stick her over here. So that's kind of your background of it. And then once you get these placed where you want them, you can either use a glue dot, you put a little daub of glue back there, which I have my glue out, so that's probably what I'm gonna do, is just stick a little glue on my fish, stick them down, stick a little tiny glue on this one, and set it down. And then this way it kind of gives those cattails are kind of sticking up a little bit too, giving it more depth. So let's move that aside, let that dry a little bit, and let's work on the front of it. So now we know where we want to put this guy. So let's go ahead and put him down, and all this is just glued down. There's enough dimension in this card, I think, that, you know, it's better to try to keep it less dimension. So let's put him over. The only thing with him is you want to make sure that you keep him within this line so that when you put this in an envelope, you're not going to be overlapped on that side. And then I kind of just put it down to the bottom. So it looks like it's kind of growing out of the ground, I guess. So you do that. Now we can take our, let's take our best catch. Oh, that's what I was looking for. So here's our best catch. What you're going to do with this is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut this guy right in half. Okay? So we've cut him in half. Now you're going to take him, and put a little glue. Actually, you can put glue on either side. It doesn't really matter. But all right, so we're going to put a little glue. And then I like to do it from this side so I can kind of judge how much extra is going to be out there. And I just want a little bit, just to kind of show the color of the card in the back. It brings out the background of it a little bit better. And then do the same thing on this side. And again, I like to use the glue because then you can move it around for a few. Oh, this one's off a little bit. There we go. So you can kind of move it around a little bit. So let's move that aside and let him dry a little bit. And then let's go back to the front of the card again. Let's put down the little tackle box. Yeah, I guess it's a basket. Let's set him right here. And hold him down. And the hat, we're going to pop up the hat. So let's get a pop-up on there. And put that on the back of the hat. Okay. And then let's stick the hat on, just kind of off to the side there. There you go. Okay, now this guy's ready. And again, instead of using so many dimensionals, we're just going to glue him onto, so we don't make it too popped up. And then just kind of, I actually evened, alrighty then. I evened him on the top of my card. So just kind of place him so that he's, you know, you got it flushed down here, and then we got it flushed up at the top. So, there you go. That is, my hands are a little sticky. Okay, so there you go. There's your front of your card. You got your scene on the inside of your card. See that? And the only thing we're missing now is the fish. So, let's get the fish. Let's bring him on in. And you're going to have a little piece of acetate, a strip of acetate. Which, let me make sure this one's long enough. I don't think this is the one that I brought in, but yeah, it'll be long enough. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take your acetate with your fish, and this I did use a glue dot on, so just go ahead and put your glue dot on the end of your acetate. So hopefully you can see that. So just put your glue dot on the end of that. I never want my cards to fall apart, so I'm a little kind of freaky with that. So I'm going to put another dot just so I have extra. That's up to you. It's kind of one of those things, preference. Okay, so now we've got the glue dots on there. We're going to take our fish. And remember, you've got your fins here that we kind of popped out when we did the die cutting. So you're going to take it and kind of put it, I would say, like probably under this fin is where you're going to attach that. Okay? So now we've got that attached really good. So you have your extra piece of acetate out here. What you're going to do is on here, you're going to put your acetate up against this edge here, and then that's where your little fish is going to come into play. What I do is put it all, kind of hold it there, put your other piece on top of it, and then look and see if that's where you want it. See, I think he's too low, so I'm going to bring him up a little bit. I'm going to bring him a little bit higher. And then I'm going to try him again. And I'm going to put that in there, and then there you go. Maybe a hair lower now. So that's why I say you need to like really kind of play with it and see what you... There, now I got him perfect. See how he's perfect in there? Yep, looks like a little fish tank, doesn't it? I just love this card. Okay, so now keep him where he is and just set another glue dot because he's going to be reinforced with the edge of the, when you put the card together. So there we go. He is in there. And look, he's already trying to go after that fish. That ain't right. Stop it. Okay. So see? And then he'll be over on top of that when... See that? Perfect. Okay, so now what you do, and this is just another little thing because like I said, I don't want my card to fall apart when it gets to the person. So I like to reinforce things. So as you could see here, you're putting this piece and this piece together. Those are your two pieces that you're putting together. So what I like to do is I like to put one piece as close to that score line. Okay. Might as well do this side too. So I'm putting them as close to the score line as I can get. And then on the green, I'm going to put it as close to the edge as I can get. There we go. And now on this one, same thing, closest to the edge. And see, this is where you can see you're actually protecting that this piece of acetate too. You're giving it more, you're sturdying it up there. Okay, so let's burnish that down a little bit. Just because it's, well, on that one it's embossed. Okay, so now, and it's easier, I'm going to tell you to do one side at a time. So take off both, which is going to be this side. Take off both of those, okay? And then if you have any extra, I don't know if you can see that little tiny piece right there. Take that and just push it back over. So now you're going to take this piece and this piece. This is where it's really important that you line these up. So take one end, make sure you get that end lined up really well, and then go to your other end. It is off a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I do with that because it isn't going to stand as well because of that being off just a tad bit. Ah, look, after I said that to you, I didn't get mine too two lined up there. Okay. There we go. And now the other side, the same thing. Pull out both pieces of your tear tape. If that's what you're using, you you might be using the Easy Glide, but I'm a big tear tape girl. I like tear tape. I think it's stronger. Okay, so now, and this is the same way. Put these two pieces together. And then come down to this side. And then just pinch it. And then, see? See how that closes in? Just when you fold that up, now it will fit in your envelope just fine. And you can go like this and make your fish look like he's swimming. There you go. That's the card. I hope you like this one. It, like I said, is one of my favorites. And now we will complete the third card and you'll be on your way. So thank you, everybody. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll leave it there for a minute so you can kind of look at it or take a screenshot if you need to. But that is our card for today. Thanks.